I see a ton of smiling faces out there today. As many of you know, it's an extremely exciting day for Culpeper County. So, background on the project, many times, we've talked about resources, we've talked about access and availability of recreational services within Culpeper County. And it has been a mission of many to improve those issues for our community. And as you can see behind me, the earth is moving, the bulldozers are rolling, and we have commenced construction of the Culpeper County Fieldhouse. The project itself is over 16,000 square feet of facility, which features an 8,800 square foot gymnasium, 3 multi-use classrooms, and 1 aerobic studio. Yes, sir. It's funny that you mention it. I can talk louder. Everybody knows that. So it's actually kind of funny that you mentioned it because this whole tent setup was supposed to be over there, and then they started rolling on Monday, and it was like, do we stall the multi-million-dollar operation, or do we let it roll and move the tent? We decided to move the tent and make the best of it. So with the facility in general, again, 8,800 square foot gymnasium, and to put that in perspective, it's the high size of a high school gym. So it's adequate enough for a ton of participants. Within the gymnasium, we have 6 retractable rims, a drop-down curtain, multiple lines for 3 pickleball courts and 1 volleyball court. The aerobic studio will have a very nice Mondo floor, which is cush, good for all ages and participants. And then the 3 classrooms have removable walls that we can adjust, whether you're looking for 1 large room for a private rental or a classroom, or an individual smaller room for more intimate program or activity. But one of the best features too about this facility is we will be relocating our Parks and Recreation offices to it. For those that have been within the county for a very, very long time, we're located on Main Street, which is a little bit disconnected from our participant base. When we open this facility, though, we will be able to interact and engage with our participants on a daily basis. Truly listen to their needs, create adaptive programming and activities, and create and build those relationships. Because truly, that's what Parks and Recreation is all about. It's about building relationships, building families, and improving the quality of life through our services. With this facility as well, it's going to open up a variety of doors for us. We're going to have the opportunity to program independently and design based on our availability and our schedule versus utilizing third-party facilities, which creates some challenges. I know as a Parks and Recreation department, our #1 goal is to improve access and availability to services, and these have been challenges. And I know there's a gentleman here to my left, Chairman Deal, who has been within this community for many, many years, and he'll be able to speak on that subject when he comes to the podium. But I know on our end, we look to the future. And the future with this facility is extremely bright. It's a great foundation piece for the Parks and Recreation Department. It will be the first public recreation facility within Culpeper County that we will offer services regardless of your income, regardless of your age, because we will have an open facility that folks will be able to come out and enjoy recreation and leisure services, and that will be our goal. As a department, we are growing, we're expanding, we're looking at those levels and trying to do the best that we can to improve them. With this facility, the goal is that this time next year, we will be cutting a ribbon and welcoming the public into the facility. So thank you all, and now I will be passing it off to Miss Laura Loveday.
Good morning. Thank you so much for attending our groundbreaking ceremony today. Again, thank you, Andrew, and thank you for allowing me to be a stand-in this morning for John Eggertson, County Administrator, who could not be with us in person. I first want to start, and John wanted to start, by asking you again for another small round of applause for the Parks and Recreation staff for putting this together. Most people probably don't realize this, but this facility was envisioned on a conceptual master plan for this site when the sports complex was originally laid out almost 2 decades ago. Granted, at that time, it was a future phase, which sometimes means we won't see it come to fruition during our careers here. But the truth is, a public recreation center has been a goal of the county for quite some time. John asked me to stress just how proud he is today that we are breaking ground on Culpeper's first public recreation center, our field house. Today we celebrate another big win for the citizens of Culpeper County. In the midst of a global pandemic and very challenging times, the Culpeper County Board of Supervisors has managed to move forward a project for our entire community to enjoy and to look forward to. By this time next year, all the sports fields will be lighted and a beautiful new field house will stand in this location, that location. You might initially think that all of these things will primarily benefit our youth, but in reality, all of these amenities will truly benefit everyone, young and old. This is particularly true about the facility that we are breaking ground on today. Our field house will be a facility that will be inclusive for everyone. It will be accessible for everyone. It will have something to offer everyone. We want each and every resident of Culpeper County to find something to love about the field house and a reason to visit over and over again. This is the reason for making this goal into a reality, to serve our community in a way that brings us together at the close of a time when we have needed to be apart. Thanks to the determination and energy of Parks and Recreation Director Andrew Hardy, our Director of Environmental Services, Paul Howard, who is instrumental in the construction, care, and keeping of all county-owned amenities, our Board Chairman, Mr. Gary Deal, for his endless enthusiasm and being the champion of this project, and the unanimous support of every member of the Board of Supervisors, we find ourselves here today. And lastly, because he isn't here to stop me from saying it, thank you to John Eggertson for his steadfast guidance and leadership of county staff. This is truly exciting and a fantastic next chapter for Culpeper County.
Okay, so it's my turn, and I'm not as smooth as either one of them, but I just want to thank everybody for coming. I mean, this is an unbelievable day for not only me, but for you all, because this is your facility, and we're trying to get that point through to everybody. And when I look out today and I see everybody here, I see friends, I see people that have come up like I have, playing sports all of our lives. I see volunteers that are here, and we have such great volunteers, and I'll talk more about that later. And I see people that give to the community, that support programs in Culpeper, and that is so important. And we have a mixture of everybody here today. I want to thank my wife for being here. She supports me in every way. And Supervisor Campbell, great to see you here. Supervisor Rosenberger, long term on the board. We wouldn't be in this position without you and Mr. Chase putting us in this position physically for a long time. Supervisor-elect David Durr and Susan Gugino, thank you for being here. Like Laura and Andrew said, we want this to be affordable. It's your field house. You had ownership in this project when we decided to go forward and procure the plans and the architecturals for this project. You assumed ownership of it then. It's a public facility. We're all about transparency. And I wanted to break it down into three different components today. First, the need for it. Everybody knows that we've needed a facility like this for a long time. It's about options. And I was talking to David Kemp earlier. You know, I can see why his program is named Options, because it's all about options for our people in Culpeper, for our youth, for our seniors. And the common denominator for options is facility. And that's why we're here today. We got to have the facilities in order to offer the options for everyone in Culpeper. And I remember we have the closest thing to this facility that we've ever had is back in when I was a kid. and I was growing up. You know, we had Jimmy McNamara and we were up playing in our community center back then was Floyd T. Benz School. And Shirley Gray and Mr. Dudley and would come in. I think I've seen Dennis McMillan here too. He might have been in on that as well. They would open the gym. We would go from 9 o'clock. Sanford was there. 9 o'clock till 12, take a break, then 1 o'clock till 3 in the afternoon. That's the only access we've really had consistently in Culpeper. Mr. Wenzel, Coach Wenzel, would open the gym on Saturday during the day in the wintertime. That's the only access we had. Coach Poole, who Coach Avert is here today, assisted Coach Poole back in the day when we had our basketball team. Coach Poole would open the gymnasium at Floyd T for the adults twice a week during the wintertime, but nothing for the kids. We didn't have anything for the kids. Now we will. Now we will. Our community's youth need space to develop their passion, love, competitiveness, and creativity. The need to build skills, understand camaraderie, and develop confidence. And when I talk about options, I mean, it could be the least little thing. I mean, this facility, for instance, from a basketball standpoint, we'll be able to lower the rims for the kids. That's a small option, but it's big because, like when I coach basketball now, we have a lot of our volunteers here that help me do that when we have it through our Parks and Rec. A kid comes out there, you know, they're 6, 7, 8 years old. They heave it up there on a 10-foot rim, but they can't get it up to the rim. So having the options, just the least little bit like that, is lowering the rims to the 8-foot level, really is beneficial. Culpeper County has never had a centralized recreational location for our youth, adults, seniors, and other parks and rec programs. I want to make sure I get everything in here, and that's why I'm going back to my notes, because this is a big day. I mean, I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. I remember back when Coach Gray and Dennis, I think, too, and Mr. Dudley was there at that community center. I was 15 years old. It was 1972. And Mr. Dudley, I forgot who my friend was, came over to me. He had 2 old wooden tennis rackets and 2 old balls, Schlesinger balls, I believe. And he said, "Boys, go out there and try this." This was the two courts where Coach Avert had the summer league basketball. There were basketball courts, and he would run his summer league basketball league there. But they transformed them into tennis courts, right across from Mr. and Ms. Davies' house. To this day, I will never understand how Mr. and Ms. Davies back then took all that interruption, 15 yards from their house. But we went up, me and my friend went out that day and played tennis for the first time, and I wound up playing every day for 15 years. So I found my love, my passion. I was decent, but to me, our kids need to find something, whether it's music, sports, it could be art, it could be a vocational trade, it could be anything. But if they can find something that they can develop a passion for, learn competitiveness, it will take them through life. I really believe that. I've seen that. I've been coaching since 1983. And I see that in kids. I see that when they get older. If they have that confidence to where they can work on something as a kid and a young adult through those times, and they can get decent at it, it gives them confidence to carry them through their career and their life. I really believe that. Our volunteers. We've had a lot of volunteers that in all different realms of programs. I see Don Deal back there with baseball. Jimmy McNamara up here, who started our youth basketball league with Mark Shelton and George Bowles, and I helped some back then. Bonnie Hitt, I don't think she's here today, and Greg Ward, who's still continuing the effort on. But our volunteers are so important. But even with that, we only had access to the gym as a kid on Saturdays just to play games, and then 1 hour during the week for the kids could come in the gym and practice. That's not much. But this facility here, we are hoping that we can keep the prices down to where everybody can come in, participate. We're going to make it on a break-even point concept to where our operations, the revenue related to the operations for maintaining the facility and operating the facility will offset. So I encourage you to get behind this project. The more contributions that we can get, the lower we can keep our fees to get into the building and reach that break-even point. So that's important. Our seniors, Culpeper County has a healthy population of recently retired individuals, and they are some of the most dynamic and active community members I have met. We have new senior pickleball players. And I was just talking to George Shackelford earlier. He's big into pickleball, and this facility is going to offer that. We have bikers and others that are seeking meaningful ways they can become healthier, meet friends, socialize, and continue lifelong learning. The second component of this is the timing part. COVID-19 has made this effort difficult, but it has helped to illustrate what matters most to us as a community. A facility that would bring our community together. And that's what it's all about for me. Seeing you guys here really makes me feel like that. We're bringing this community together. We're going to have a facility that's going to be open to all, like Laura and Andrew was just explaining earlier. The timing is right because our Board of Supervisor members, Supervisor Campbell, Supervisor Rosenberger, Supervisor Chase, who's not here, Mr. Underwood, Mr. Frazier. Am I leaving anybody out? Mr. Bates, how could I forget him? And his support. Unbelievable. They're the ones that have made the decision to go forward and why we're here today. We have confidence in Andrew. One of the reasons we're going forward is because we have confidence in him and his staff that they can operate this facility. He's done an amazing job. Laura's already mentioned John Eggerston, who's simply irreplaceable with his support and his facilitation effort. Our Recreation Advisory Group, I want to mention them, as well as our Recreation Foundation. From a budgetary standpoint, the timing is right because of this board and past boards' attention to responsible county government spending. We can be proud of building the field house, the CTEC school, and lighting the fields while maintaining our AAA bond rating and keeping our tax rate the lowest in the region. And I go back to Supervisor Rosenberger, who's here today, and Supervisor Chase. We wouldn't be in this position if they had not been frugal during all these years to put us in a financial situation that we're in now. We're in a great financial situation with a 55-cent tax rate and with our budget the way it is. It's because of past boards. Sue Hanson's here today. Steve Walker's here today. It's because of them and our current boards that we're in this position today. Just like 5 years ago, with our decision to build the CTEC school, each one of our current board members were all in for this project. Each one of us understand that this field house is the right facility at the right time and for all the right reasons. I applaud each of you for making that decision to go forward. There's a team effort from a lot of people. And I will say this, there are times when we disagree on the board, and there are times when our debates can be very firm, forceful, and to the point. But it has been so gratifying to come together as a team with our board, with all of our people that have been involved with this, to get this project done for the community. Something I will always remember. For this decision of building the C-Tech school, putting lights on these fields, building this field house, I would like to reference the following quote by Coretta Scott King. The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Lastly and absolutely, our board and county government will ensure this to be a public amenity that welcomes everyone, regardless of their income or age, that resonates with our community. It will be affordable, and it will be a benefit for the entire community to enjoy. We are determined to make this central focus of our mission, to make this the central focus of our mission for this facility, access for all. I encourage everyone here to get behind this project. The more contributions we can get, the least fees we have to charge to belong to this facility to get into the doors. So I encourage everyone to get behind it. You can see me, you can see Andrew, you can see any of our board members to learn how to do that. I encourage you to do so. That's about all I have. I just really appreciate it. I look out there, I know a lot of people here today, and it just really makes me feel so good that you're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Laura. At this time, though, we would like to welcome Laura, Chairman Deal, Supervisor Rosenberger, Supervisor Campbell, and Representative Chairman of the Recreation Foundation, Rex Edwards, and Chairman of the Parks and Rec Advisory Committee, Joe White, up to take the first groundbreaking opportunity here for this public facility.